I came up in a time where there were no black gay comedians. I was one of the first. And,
because I'm wondering how because the comedian world is all male and macho men too.
Yeah. And I had to go in there and go toe to toe with those men. So, you know, a lot of these men that the little Duvalls and all them, you know, we would run past each other and he never did anything to me personally. There have been some, you know, and I remember when BET was doing Comic View, I got like kicked off of a tour, you know, back then.
Because you were gay?
Because I was gay. They was like, people don't want to hear that. They said black people don't want to hear that. They was just like, they didn't want.
So who was mean to you?
A lot of club promoters.
What comedian said something to you?
Oh, what? Well.
Yes, tell us.
What? I mean, because serious, 25 years is a long time to be in the comedy business, and I know you got some shit. Okay. I know you did.
The nasty, and I want to say this because I know she comes up a lot on here. One of the first comedians who really stuck up for me and had my back was Monique. Yes. People say negative things about her. Monique I don't agree with how she goes about it all the time, but Monique practices what she preaches. I was opening for her at one time. She was one of the first who called me and said, hey, nobody's hiring you, come on the road with me. She paid my rent one month. I didn't have you know, money, and she paid my rent one month.
I keep hearing these stories on my show about Monique.
She's an incredible woman.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with how she goes about it, but Monique has always been very loud and outspoken. People have a problem with it because she's a big black woman. That's it.
Right.
That's
Absolutely.
She was one of the best. Now, some of the nastiest, the first run-in that I had was with Jimmy Walker from Good Times.
Not JJ.
He is a nasty motherfucker. He was the most disgusting person that I've ever worked with in this business. And I don't go around bad-mouthing people, but the experience that I had, and I was 10 years in, you know, and you really don't learn what you're doing until you get about 15, even 20 years in really learning what you're doing. And I'm really happy to be there with this legend. He's Good Times. That's black.
Good Times, that's JJ. Dynamite. Yeah.
And he hates when you say that. And I'm sitting, and I'm like, that's what puts food on your table. So like, I wish I had a catchphrase. And he comes in the green room. He sees me. I stand up and I introduce myself. I say, hey, I'm Sampson. I'm opening for you tonight. He goes, hold up, what's a Sampson? And I'm like, me, I'm your feature tonight. Interesting. He leaves out of the room. About 10 minutes later, his manager comes back in with a white envelope. We were at All Stars Comedy Club in Alexandria, Virginia. And she hands me a white envelope and she says, I don't know how to tell you this, but we won't be needing your services tonight. So I want to make sure that you got paid. So she wrote me a check out of her own pocket. And she said, she said, Mr. Walker doesn't want you to open the show tonight. And she wouldn't tell me why. So I stayed, and he got up on stage, and he said, can you believe they were going to have a fag open the show for me tonight?
Wow.
And then he said, he made AIDS jokes. He said things about Ellen DeGeneres. So he was just like, he said, you know, Ellen, I came up with Ellen on the circuit and she needs some dick, so take the dick out his mouth and put it up her ass. And he said some really nasty things. And I wouldn't sit here and make that up. He was so nasty.
You can't make that up.
He was the nastiest. Now, I've had, you know, other folks in the business debate me. You know, I love D.L. Hughley. He's a friend of mine. He's another one who said, you know, well, don't you think you're a little too activisty? And I'm like, have you heard what you talk about? Like,
DL is the most activist person on the face of the earth.
Yeah, so I'm like, if you get to, and this is the thing, a lot of folks, they make the mistake of thinking, you know, oh, well, y'all are gay. I'm black first.
Hello?
When I leave out of that house, the first thing that I live life as is a black man.
Exactly.
First.
That's real.
And and then on top of that, a gay person. And so comedy is all about being subjective. It's all about point of view. And so that's why I stand up there and talk about it. A lot of the male comedians have told me maybe not to talk about it. It's, you know, affected my career. There have been a few legends who have sat down with me and who have come out to me and, you know, said that they didn't come out because they, you know, feared how it would affect their career.
Legends who haven't come out or who have already come out.
They haven't come out.
Oh, okay.
And they've been in the business 50 years.
Wow.